Hello, everybody, and today is election night 2024. The Democratic nominee is Sherrod Brown, the senator from Ohio, and Tom Cotton, the Republican nominee. Is the senator from Arkansas, and this is going to be a very close one. Sherrod Brown makes his final campaign stop in Wisconsin. This is a crucial swing state. Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia are the swing states we're going to have to look out for tonight because these will really decide the election. Tom Cotton makes his final campaign stop in Arizona, another crucial swing state. He needs to win traditional Republicans while winning moderates, which he's not doing well with. Stacey Abrams is sweeping the minority vote right now to go to the polls because he really needs to win. Sherrod Brown, I forgot to say, Stacey Abrams is Sherrod Brown's running mate. He picked her mostly because he needs to win Georgia this election, and it's going to be really close. And Stacey Abrams' work with getting the minority vote to go to the polls and register to vote can pay off this election. Chuck Schumer is retiring from the Senate party leader seat, so the Senate minority leader or Senate majority leader position. He will remain a U.S. Senator, but he does not want to be party leader anymore, but he will remain a senator. Amy Klobuchar is the only contender to replace Chuck Schumer as party leader in the Senate. No one has ran against her, surprisingly. No one. This might change later today or tonight, but right now it looks like Amy Klobuchar is the only nominee. In general polling, this is going to be close. So Brown is almost winning by a 3.0 margin. He's winning by 2.7 though in general polling, but Tom Cotton, it was pretty close and stayed the same the whole entire time we did the polling. But then Sherrod Brown had a bigger lead, and Tom Cotton had a slight dip, but then that went back up again, and Sherrod Brown is in a very small lead, lean margin. In swing states, Sherrod Brown is leading by 1.3 margin, which is even closer than general national polling. And it really depends on the swing state, so it's going to be pretty close. And white independent voters, this is one of the closest polls. As you can see, Sherrod Brown is winning by 0.4 margin. Whoever wins the election will need to win the white independent voters. This group has become essential to winning in the election because of their big presence in swing states, including Arizona, including Wisconsin, including Georgia, a little bit North Carolina, and other states. But this is going to be a group that's going to be hard. But if Sherrod Brown or Tom Cotton can win, whoever wins this will likely win the election. And Trump swing voters, sorry about the typo, it's supposed to say Brown. But as you can see, Tom Cotton was basically leading the whole time in the polls. I believe it's supposed to say 3.8 or 2.8. I don't really remember. But, Sherrod Brown only leaded for like a little bit, but then he went down in the polls, but it got a little bit better at the end of it. But Tom Cotton has always been winning this group, and he will likely win it again. But Sherrod Brown can still get some of the voters, which can help him win, because he doesn't need to win all of them, or the majority, but he just needs to win a little bit of them. In moderates, sorry again, it's not supposed to say Cooper, but Brown is supposed to say Brown. Brown is leading by 4 points if you round it all up. This is not shocking. Democrats usually do well and win most moderates, so this could be very useful in Arizona. And if he can win a lot of the moderate vote, he can win in Arizona. And the minority vote, it looks like, Sherrod Brown is leading. Sorry about the typo again. Tom Cotton is a better Republican candidate to appeal to black voters. Even though he's obviously not going to win them, he is appealing to them more than Donald Trump would. Even though it looks like Sherrod Brown will win, how Democrats usually do, and maybe a little bit above, mostly because of Stacey Abrams helping him, and also his very progressive background as senator. And now the first polls are closing in the following states. Most notably Georgia, which I've been mentioning a lot, but this is going to be a close one state. So we have to watch out for Virginia. All the other states are safe states, so we do not need to watch these at all. And the first state projection of the night. Sherrod Brown will win in Virginia. This has been expected. Nothing shocking here. Safe Democratic state. Also, Vermont will go to Sherrod Brown, which will give him 16 electoral votes overall. And now, Tom Cotton will win in Indiana with its 11 electoral votes. Kentucky with its 8. South Carolina with its 9. Nothing shocking here with these states. Very safe Republican states. And obviously, we're going to go to him all night. Yeah, now Tom Cotton is leading in Georgia by a tilt margin. This is obviously not going to stay lead for him all night. This state will go back and forth with Sherrod Brown and Tom Cotton, but this will be a close one, guys. And this can go either way. And this is a state we'll have to watch on, but it's right now too close to call, even though Tom Cotton is leading. And now Senate news. Bernie Sanders will win re-election in Vermont, and Tim Kaine will win re-election in Virginia. These were expected. Tim Kaine said he would not run in 2024, but he decided he would just one more time. And Mike Braun will also win re-election in Indiana for the Senate seat. Nothing shocking here. He's one of the most conservative senators in the whole entire country. Tom Cotton is leading. Only safe states have been called, though. Georgia is too close to call. Tom Cotton is leading by tilt margin. That's likely going to change any moment to go to Sherrod Brown, and then later that will go back to Tom Cotton. But it's too close to call. Tom Cotton has 28 electoral votes with Sherrod Brown has 16. Now polls are closing in the following states. We need to watch out for Ohio, which is Sherrod Brown's home state and also a traditional Republican state. This will likely go to Tim Cotton from the polls I am getting, but this can go any way regardless. And Tom Cotton will win in West Virginia. This was expected. And now North Carolina is too close to call. Tom Cotton is leading. He is doing well with a lot of traditional Republicans. He does well with establishment Republicans as well. He's really good at winning that group over, and he's going to get the vote out. If it wasn't for those traditional Republicans in the state that wouldn't vote for him, Sherrod Brown would likely win the state, because Sherrod Brown in North Carolina is doing really well with the minority vote. North Carolina, though, it looks like it will go to Tom Cotton. He's winning by a lean margin. He will likely win the state by a lean margin later today, but he is leading and is too close to call right now. And in Ohio, Tom Cotton is leading. This is really going to be a weird race because this can be competitive, but it likely won't. I think that he's winning by a lean margin. Yeah, he's winning by a lean margin, but this can change later tonight. It'll likely go to Sherrod Brown somewhat later tonight, but it will go back to Tom Cotton likely. And in Ohio Senate race, Frank LaRose, the Secretary of State, will run. This is Sherrod Brown's seat that he gave up. He said he's not running for re-election because he thinks he will win the presidency, so he has resigned from the position. And so right now, Frank LaRose is leading. The Democrats chose Tim Ryan again, and I don't know why they keep doing that, but they chose Tim Ryan, a very bad candidate at this point. He is just not that greatest candidate right now, and Frank LaRose is winning by a lean margin. So this will be a state that will flip, and this, if the Republicans win this state, it looks like it will be they will win the majority if they win the state, I believe. And also, Joe Manchin will win in West Virginia. We thought this could have become more competitive because of his more conservative views, even though he's a Democrat, but he has won re-election. And Tom Cotton is leading in Ohio by a tilt margin. He's also winning North Carolina by a lean margin. And Georgia, he's leading by a tilt margin. And this is going to become close. Only state that has been called was West Virginia. So right now, Tom Cotton has 32 electoral votes, and Sherrod Brown still has 16. And now polls are closing, 8 p.m. close. this will help Sherrod Brown to boost up a little bit in electoral college, and Tom Cotton will also boost up from safe Republican states like Missouri and Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Florida, and other states too, which have 6 to 30 electoral votes. So that will be good for him. And now, states that will go for Sherrod Brown: Illinois, 19 electoral votes; Maryland, 10 electoral votes; the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes; Delaware, 3 electoral votes; New Jersey, 14 electoral votes; Connecticut, 7; Rhode Island, 4; Maine at large, 2; and Maine's 1st District, 1. This is a nice boost for him. This will help him in the national. These are all safe Democratic states, but this is a nice winning streak for him in these safe Democratic states and will help him win. And now, Maine's 2nd District will go to Tom Cotton. It's not shocking here. He's doing well with the demographics in Maine's 2nd District. He basically won all of them. And in Oklahoma, he will win. He will also win Missouri with its 10 electoral votes, Tennessee with its 11, Mississippi with its 6, Alabama with its 9, and Florida with its 30. Florida was not a swing state, but this is a very nice win for him. This will help him. But right now, they both got a really good winning streak. And states that are too close to call: Pennsylvania, right now, Sherrod Brown is still winning. He has gotten more votes now, but not by a lot. But he's still winning by a lean margin. He is doing really well in the state. This is pretty good. I would be very confident if I was Sherrod Brown right now, because he's doing very well in Pennsylvania. New Hampshire's too close to call. We can probably say Sherrod Brown will win the state later on tonight, but it's too close to call. This will likely go to him very soon. It's too close to call in Ohio right now. Sherrod Brown is still leading with he just started to lead. This was to Tom Cotton earlier, but now Sherrod Brown is leading by a tilt margin. Like I said, this might go likely later to Tom Cotton later, and he'll likely win the state. But right now, Sherrod Brown is winning his home state by a lean margin, and it's too close to call. Tom Cotton is leading in Georgia right now by a somewhat very small margin, actually, 0.7, I believe, and this is going to become close. He is just doing well with a lot of independent voters and white voters there, which is helping him win. But the minority vote, which he's not doing well with, Sherrod Brown is really hurting him right now. North Carolina is too close to call. Tom Cotton leads. I think it's going to be called very soon. I think North Carolina is pretty good with their votes and getting them in pretty fast. So I believe Tom Cotton, this North Carolina, will go to Tom Cotton any moment now. And Senate calls. New Jersey will re-elect Robert Mendez, the incumbent. Maryland will also re-elect the incumbent Ben Cardin. Connecticut will also re-elect Chris Murphy. And Delaware will elect Lisa Rochester, taking the place for the incumbent Delaware senator. I believe she's the first woman to ever be a senator from Delaware, which is a major achievement. And Angus King will win re-election. He is basically a Democrat. He is independent but votes with the Democratic caucus. Sheldon Whitehouse will win Rhode Island re-election. Ironic last name. Elizabeth Warren will win re-election in Massachusetts, expected. And Bob Casey Jr. will win re-election in Pennsylvania. And that's a pretty good call for the Democrats right now. But really, you just have to watch for Arizona, which will be later tonight, where the polls will come in, and also Ohio. Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn will win re-election. Nothing shocking there. Josh Hawley will win re-election, expected. Rick Scott will win re-election in Florida, expected. And Roger Wicker will win re-election in Mississippi, very expected. And LaRose is still leading. Tim Ryan is doing very bad right now. He is doing a very bad job, basically. And LaRose is doing very well right now. And Cotton leads in the Electoral College, and Sherrod Brown is leading in most swing states. Tom Cotton, the only swing states he's leading in are North Carolina and Ohio. Georgia is now, Sherrod Brown is leading in Georgia, I believe, again now. Um, Tom Cotton is just leading in North Carolina and and Ohio, I believe. Sherrod Brown is leading Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and Georgia, which is a good sign for him. But right now, Sherrod Brown has 90 electoral votes, while Tom Cotton has 106. And polls are closing in Arkansas, Tom Cotton's home state. And yes, Tom Cotton will win re-election in Arkansas. This is not shocking at all. Expected. But yeah. So Tom Cotton is now leading in the Electoral College still. Just won Arkansas. Nothing else is changing. And now polls are closing in polls are closing in the following states. Wisconsin and Arizona are crucial swing states. Also, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Colorado, New Mexico. Those will help Sherrod Brown in the Electoral College and bring him up even more. Texas can be too close to call, but it will likely just be safe and not be too close to call. But we really don't know. Sherrod Brown will win in New York with its 28 electoral votes. He will win Minnesota with its 10 electoral votes. He will win Colorado with its 10 electoral votes. He will win New Mexico with its 5 electoral votes. Sorry, there's a typo. He will win New Hampshire. Oh yeah, this was too close to call earlier, but Sherrod Brown has won New Hampshire, a major swing state. He has won it tonight. And Tom Cotton is winning in North Dakota with his 3 electoral votes. He has 1. Also, South Carolina. He has 1 South Dakota. I've been stuttering a lot. I apologize. But he will win South Dakota with its 3. Nebraska with its 5. He won every district. Kansas with its 6. Wyoming with its 3. And Texas. He will win Texas with its 40 electoral votes. Everybody was saying this would go to him, but we didn't know if it'd be a likely or safe margin. He has won it by a safe margin, and this will help him in the Electoral College. And he will also win re-election. He will win in Louisiana with its 8 electoral votes. Now, Senate calls. After this. Michigan is too close to call. Sherrod Brown is winning. Nothing shocking there. Wisconsin, Sherrod Brown is also leading. He's doing better than people thought he would. Doing well with white independent voters in the state specifically, and doing it well with them nationwide. But he's doing pretty well with in Wisconsin, better than people expected. And this is a good sign for him. If I was Sherrod Brown, I'd be somewhat confident right now. Sherrod Brown is also winning in Pennsylvania. He's leading. We can maybe call the states somewhat soon. He is leading. He's keep adding to his numbers. He has decreased in his numbers a little bit now, though, but he is keep gaining every time we see, every second. And Georgia is too close to call. Sherrod Brown is leading now. He's doing well with that minority vote, and he's doing well with some white independents. He's not winning the majority of them, but he's winning the right number of them. He just needs to win a little bit to win the state. Tom Cotton is now leading in Ohio by a lean margin. This went back to him after going to Sherrod Brown. This is a good sign for him. Arizona is now too close to call. This has obviously the polls are just coming in the state, but Tom Cotton is leading. He's doing well with establishment-type traditional Republicans in the state, which is really helping him win. But this is a really good sign for him. And now Senate calls. Martin Hinrich will win re-election in New Mexico. Christian Gillibrand will win the re-election in New York. Tina Smith will win re-election in Minnesota. In Michigan, Debbie Stabenow will win re-election as well. Tammy Baldwin will win re-election in Wisconsin. And that's a pretty good, for the Democrats, good lead. Tammy Baldwin, if we can go back, this state was almost into close to call. We almost put this into a too close to call category, but she managed to keep it to a safe margin and not too close to call. So, good sign for her. And this could be a good sign for Sherrod Brown in Wisconsin. Kevin Cramer will win in North Dakota re-election. Debbie Fisher will also win re-election in Nebraska. John Barrasso will also win re-election in Wyoming. Ted Cruz will win re-election in Texas. This was going to be a more competitive state because nobody likes Ted Cruz. And this was going to be more competitive, but the Democratic Party Texas literally collapsed and was very bad with their nominee. They picked a terrible nominee, so Ted Cruz has won re-election. And LaRose is still winning in Ohio. We should just call the state soon at this point. LaRose is just keep holding on and gaining that lead, and he's keep going up every time. And he's doing very well. At this point, Frank LaRose, I think, will win. He will likely win, and I think he can win it by a likely or lean margin. Tim Ryan is a very bad candidate. And Doug Ducey, who is the Republican nominee against Kristen Sinema, is leading right now. Kristen Sinema is not going to do well. She is very unpopular with Democrats and the more left-wing Democrats, and Doug Ducey looks like he's taking advantage of that and is leading in the state. And Brown is leading in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, while Tom Cotton leads in Arizona and Ohio. Sherrod Brown has 157 electoral votes, and Tom Cotton has 196. These swing states are becoming very close, and we're almost done with all the safe states. We just still have a little more to go, and this is going to be getting more competitive every second. And the polls are closing in Montana, Iowa, Utah, and Nevada. Nevada is somewhat of a swing state, but will likely go to Sherrod Brown. He is a very good candidate to appeal to people in Nevada, and it looks like everything else is nothing special. And Tom Cotton will win in Iowa and Utah, and they both have 6 electoral votes, and Montana, which has 4. So just safe states for him, all expected. And we can now project Sherrod Brown will win in Michigan. This was expected, but this was too close to call, and it had to be considered a swing state. But he has won. It's 15 electoral votes. This is a good thing for him. It was expected, but it's a very good thing for him. And Wisconsin is too close to call. Sherrod Brown is leading. Pennsylvania is too close to call. Sherrod Brown is also still leading. And Nevada is too close to call. Brown is leading by pretty good numbers. And Tom Cotton is leading in Ohio, Georgia, and Arizona. And these are states that he will all need to win if he wants to win the election, and also Wisconsin. So that's good for him. And now Senate. Jackie Rosen will win re-election in Nevada. This was going to be close, but it looks like she has managed to win re-election. John Tester will win re-election, in Montana. And Mitt Romney will win in Utah for re-election. And we can now project Frank LaRose will win re-election. So, if the Republicans win in Arizona, which most people are predicting that they will, the Republicans will have majority of the Senate. And if Tom Cotton wins the presidential election, they will also still have the majority. So this is a major call. This will help the Republicans in the Senate by a lot. And yeah, this will help them. And Doug Ducey is still leading in Arizona, even though it's too close to call. He has gained more votes now and is doing well. Tom Cotton still in the lead in the Electoral College. He has 212 electoral votes. Sherrod Brown has 162. Sherrod Brown is leading in Georgia, Nevada, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. He has 1 Michigan, a major swing state. And Cotton leads in Ohio and Arizona. Arizona is sticking with Tom Cotton, but the numbers are very close in Arizona. Even though Tom Cotton is leading, this can go to Sherrod Brown tonight in the Electoral College. Arizona is going to be very close. We do not know who's going to win it, but looks like Tom Cotton is leading though still right now. And 11 p.m. polls are closing in Idaho, Oregon, Washington, California, and Hawaii. These states always help the Democrats, and Sherrod Brown will get a big boost and will likely be in the lead in the Electoral College. And Washington will go to Sherrod Brown with its 12 electoral votes. Oregon with its 8 electoral votes, and California with its 55 electoral votes will go to Sherrod Brown. Sorry, I believe that's supposed to be 54. This is a main. Wait, also. Sorry, I forgot. Hawaii will also go to Sherrod Brown, and Pennsylvania will go to Sherrod Brown with its 19 electoral votes. So this is a major streak for him. This is very good news. This will help him, even though these were predicted to go to him, this will help him with a victory tonight. And Pennsylvania has been dramatically from a swing state that would go either way, is now becoming a tilt Democratic state right now with all these elections going on. It looks like Democrats are doing very well in Pennsylvania. And in Idaho, Tom Cotton will win also. That is not that big of a deal. This was expected. And now Senate calls. Mazie Hirono will win re-election. Ro Khanna will win. He took place of Dianne Feinstein, who retired of old age, and Ro Khanna was the most likely one to win, most likely one to win the nomination, so he has also won the general. And in Washington, Marie Cantwell will also win. And the House of Representatives will go to the Democrats. The Democrats have won the House majority. This was predicted. But if they do not win the Senate, this can basically mean nothing. But the Democrats have won the House of Representatives. This is very good news. They have won it by 4 seats, though. Even though this is very close, they have still won it. Sherrod Brown is now leading in the Electoral College. He has 259. He just needs to win Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Georgia. He needs to win at least 3. I believe he just needs to win 3 of those states, and he can win. Wisconsin and Georgia are extremely competitive right now. They are very close, and I don't even think we know who is leading right now. This is becoming extremely close in these swing states. The Democrats are going to vote for Speaker of the House. Major candidates are Hakeem Jeffries, who has been rumored to replace Nancy Pelosi for a while, and Adam Schiff. And also Kevin McCarthy and ELISE Stefanik are fighting for the House Party Leader seat, or the House Minority Leader or whatever. And this is becoming pretty competitive right now. And in Ohio, Tom Cotton will win with 17 electoral votes. He has won a major swing state tonight. This is a major win for Tom Cotton. This was expected. He has won it by a lean margin, even though this is Sherrod Brown's home state. That's why it was closer and more competitive. But he has won Ohio. And he also has won Alaska with its 3 electoral votes. And we can now project Nevada will go to Sherrod Brown with its 6 electoral votes. And Doug Ducey will win Arizona. And this means that the Republicans have the majority in the U.S. Senate. I believe. I think maybe this was expected already. This maybe had happened already. I believe it's 52-48. So when Frank LaRose won, maybe the Republicans had the majority already. But right now, the Republicans have the majority, and they will block Sherrod Brown's agenda likely. And this is a major, big deal. The Democrats have won the House of Representatives. So right now they have 3 branches, of the legislative and executive or whatever. Sherrod Brown is now leading in Electoral College. He has 265 electoral votes. He needs to win one more state that is too close to call, and he will win the election. He needs to win Wisconsin, Georgia, or Arizona. Tom Cotton will have to win all 3 of them, I believe, to win election, and that will be a hard task. Sherrod Brown just has to win one more state. And Sherrod Brown has won in Wisconsin and Georgia, which makes him the next president of the United States of America. Our next president is Sherrod Brown. He has won every single swing state except for Arizona. That is right now, we do not know, except for also Ohio and North Carolina and other states. So this is a good thing for the Democrats. Nobody could really see any Democrat in 2022 really winning the presidency. And it looks like Sherrod Brown has proved them wrong. This was closer, even though he has won in an electoral college. It is a pretty good lead, even though the popular vote was closer than it looks. For the popular vote right now shows Sherrod Brown winning by 2% or 1% of the vote. The popular vote's extremely close. Not the closest one ever, but it's pretty close. And now Sherrod Brown has been elected President of the United States. And he has won with 291 electoral votes, and Tom Cotton has lost. And right now he has 236. He can get that to 247 to make it even closer. But Arizona, I believe Sherrod Brown is leading now. But Sherrod Brown has become the next president of the United States. This is a major call. And the Speaker of the House will be Hakeem Jeffries. This is a pretty good deal. I believe he's the first, I think he's the first black House Speaker of the House. I believe he's the very first one, which is a major deal. And Ilhan Omar will be the House Majority Leader. Jim Clyburn will win re-election as the House Majority Whip. And ELISE STEFANIK will take Kevin McCarthy's spot and will be the leader of the Republican Party in the House. She has won by a very small margin, but she has won replacing Kevin McCarthy. Steve Scalise, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, will be reelected House Majority Whip. Oops. And the Senate Majority Leader will be Marco Rubio. Many people did not expect him to win. Many people were expecting Tim Scott to win, but he looks like Tim Scott is not winning. Even though he has won the Senate Majority Whip, Tim Scott is the Senate Majority Whip. One of the very first black Republicans to hold major office in the party or whatever, something like that. And the Senate Minority Leader will be Amy Klobuchar. As we said, no one ran against her. Joe Manchin was actually thinking about it, but it looks like he obviously has not. So she has won 100% of the vote because no one ran against her, because no one really had that big of interest. And Tim Kaine will be the Senate Minority Whip, replacing Dick Durbin, because why not, I guess. And Sherrod Brown will win in Arizona. So he has won every single swing state except North Carolina and Ohio. This is major news. And now Tom Cotton concedes the election, but he still wants to have some recounts. He says he has lost, but he would still like some recounts in Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, in Nevada. But he has conceded, giving peace to the nation. And Sherrod Brown is declaring victory in his home state of Ohio. He has plans for the future and is ready to be the president. Kevin McCarthy is showing interest in the 2026 Senate race in Texas after losing the party leader seat. It looks like he wants to go up more and become a U.S. senator. And this is not confirmed, but some sources saying that he is. And Sherrod Brown has been elected president of the United States with 302 electoral votes, with Tom Cotton has 236. And that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys agree? I think a lot of people might not agree with me. To be honest, this was hard. I flipped a lot of states because Tom Cotton versus Sherrod Brown, this would be very close, I believe. And both have unique advantages and disadvantages to each other. So do you guys agree with me? I believe mostly Arizona and Georgia, those will be tricky, but I don't know what to do with those states. So I thought Sherrod Brown would win them, but tell me what you guys think. If you disagree, please don't call me a B word in my comments, because come on. Please be civil in the comments and please respect others' opinions. And tell me what election night video I should do next. I've been quarantining in my house because I had COVID. I think I might still have COVID, even though I feel fine. But my brother is sick, so I have to quarantine for 5 days. So I'm just making a lot of election nights because I have nothing literally else to do. So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.